This is part one of a four-part video series on the state of Mississippi's deer herd for the 2021 deer season with MDWFP deer coordinator William McKinley. Part one will discuss last year and past seasons. Part two will focus on the current season outlook. Part three will share some recent deer research results in Mississippi, focused on corn feeders. And part four will look ahead at future deer research in Mississippi. These videos will not have information on CWD updates. For that information, go to mdwfp.com/CWD.
You know, we went into the year under quarantine. A lot of places were still under quarantine, and so we didn't know how hunting season was going to go. Well, people had more time to hunt. Ground beef prices going up to $8, $9, $10 a pound there for a short window when supplies were limited. I simply can't stress enough how important venison is to our state. Think of it, was 260,000 deer killed by licensed hunters last year. Think how much venison that was hitting tables across our state. What we saw last season was over 18% increase in the deer harvest statewide. And that's the largest increase we've seen in many, many years. It's still not at the level of the deer harvest we were seeing back around 2010. But it is much higher than it has been for the past several years. Now, we also saw that hunter numbers increased last year. Hunter numbers increased by 13% last year. That tells me that the hunters out there, many of them chose to shoot one more deer last year than they had in years previous. So Mississippi is still harvesting more 4-year-old and older deer than I guess any state out there, according to the National Deer Alliance's data. Mississippi's harvesting more 4-year-old and older age class bucks, and nearly 70% of the bucks harvested by Mississippi hunters being 3-year-old and older. So doe age structure, we were looking at a 56% of our doe harvest being 3-year-old and older. That suggests that this herd is increasing. We think our deer herd has been increasing for several years. It's not necessarily a good thing in many parts of the state. Now, some parts probably use a few more deer. But when we look at the state as a whole, much of the state, localized areas, have too many deer. The fawn crop this year, it appears great. From all reports across the state, people are reporting seeing an abundant number of fawns, lots of twins and triplets, and you know, this is like the 5th year we've seen a really good fawn crop. We've had good growing conditions for several years in a row now. This population is increasing across our state and may be increasing this year at a bigger bump than average. So it's even that much more critical that hunters get into woods and fill that freezer with venison this year.